Imagine some bagpipes are playing, all right? Imagine some bagpipes are playing, and we're going to pick the Saturday match. Okay, we have we put
Oh,
a
Joe.
now the biggest match of the round is going to be in Glasgow, Scotland, at Scotstoun Stadium. I'm picking the Warriors to win this match. If there is one match Toulouse is going to lose, it's going to be this match in Scotland.
He get in for Glasgow's first score, and how they needed that. Horn has it. Tripoliti! Thomas is one. He's hit into touch. It has now. Tonight the Galacticos are Glaswegian. It's one for the ages, one for the history books. From 21-0 down at half-time, the Glasgow Warriors have produced the most almighty second-half performance.
All right, Philip, what we just saw were highlights and my prediction that was correct of Glasgow beating Toulouse in probably one of the biggest matches that a club has won, especially for Glasgow in a long time. Obviously, there's 48 pool play matches played the last few years, right? It's 24 teams, 12 matches around. I'm not going to begin to think that is the biggest pool win of the last 5 years, but it's a pretty massive one, right? Because Toulouse is just a massive favorite to win this.
Yeah, no doubt, Joe. I think it's certainly the biggest win in Glasgow, probably Champions Cup history, and I can remember. I mean, obviously, they had that home knockout game last year. They won that, which was big for them. But yeah, I mean, beating Toulouse, especially coming back from 21-0 down, is a really impressive turnaround. And I think it also leans into another thing that you messaged me: get Franco Smith in charge of Scotland. That is what they need. I mean, yeah, what a turnaround from the Warriors! Really impressive. And it was interesting. You saw it in quite a lot of the matches this week. The weather over this side of the Atlantic was pretty horrendous in terms of the wind. So teams really struggled in the first half when they were playing into the wind, and I think you could see that a lot. I would also say Glasgow certainly did not get the rub of the green from the match officials in the first half, and things just certainly clicked in the second half, and they rolled. What an impressive victory.
Wouldn't be a Rugby Roundup podcast without mentioning Gregor Townsend and the status of Scotland's national rugby team.
Yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah.
I think
Gregor
this
out.
is. I mean, I think the biggest match win Glasgow has had in the last few years is obviously the URC final that they won in the championship. But when we're talking about regular season, URC and Champions Cup, I mean, this has got to be the biggest regular season win they've ever had.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind, Joe. This is just huge. I was actually going back through the results to see when Toulouse last won, and then I was kind of looking at how the Warriors have done over the years. And yeah, I couldn't find a fixture that was bigger in terms of pool play for the Warriors than this one. And I think from memory, outside of matches that they had to forfeit due to COVID, Toulouse hadn't lost since I think 2020 in a pool match. So I mean, that just shows how dominant they've been throughout this. So it also just throws open the competition, doesn't it, Joe? I mean, I was looking at the potential matchups on our as I was doing our power rankings article today, for obviously coming out this Wednesday, and I think I had it at Bath would be travelling to face Glasgow if they've met in a quarterfinal. I think it was rolling through, or the last 16. Sorry, if they were to meet in the last 16 at the moment. So it's just blown open the whole competition, and Toulouse now are likely going to have to go on the road in the knockout stages. So nobody's going to want to see Antoine Dupont and co coming to town in the knockouts.
Well, so that was my next question is like, should we really be concerned for Toulouse, or is this just a Scottish blip? Is this just them going to Glasgow and the weather and losing, or were there concerns moving forward for them?
I've never seen a group of players look more devastated after a pool match than that Toulouse group. And I think they looked miserable because of the weather too, which certainly didn't help. I don't know if it's concern, but I think we said it after round one that Toulouse, they looked great in the final 20 minutes against a second/third string Sharks team, but they really struggled for that opening hour. I think it's funny, isn't it? Like Leinster is similar too, where you look at the real big dogs and it's taking a long time for them to wear teams down. Now, obviously, this week Toulouse exploded, but they couldn't keep that pressure in the second half. I mean, they didn't score in the second half, and to concede 28 points, that's a real punch in the mouth, isn't it? So I think they have so much quality that you expect them to be there or thereabouts at the end of the season. And you do look at who they were missing in Santiago Chocobares, Juan Cruz Malia, and a few others. But, Glasgow were missing Hugh Jones, who's a world-class centre. So, yeah, I think I would be... I've definitely dropped them down from being my main contenders. At the moment, I really like the look of Northampton and Bordeaux. Yeah, Northampton and Bordeaux. And interestingly, as a Munster fan, this hurts to say, but Leinster, even though things aren't clicking yet, you can see where they are going. And defensively, they're just so strong. They were another one of those teams who were playing into the wind in the first half, really struggled, and then had the breeze at the back in the second half. And you can't really underestimate it at this time of year, how important conditions are. So for me, those are sort of the big three at the moment. And Glasgow, I would lump in that group. So maybe the big four there at the minute.
Let me ask you this. How excited are you now for that Toulouse Saracens match at Saracens? So it's in London. That's round 3. Saracens at full strength looked awesome in round 1. Now they didn't take their A team down in South Africa this past week and they lost, right? But man, that match just completely changes now because Toulouse could suffer another loss because Saracens looked damn good in round 1.
Yeah, they could feasibly lose two in this pool stage. And actually, before people jump on, I forgot about the DHL Stormers. Of course, they're in that group of dominant your preseason favourites for the title. Yeah, they could well lose on the road to Saracens. That game now just becomes huge for Toulouse. Okay, Toulouse are getting out of the group. Let's not be silly about this, but 2 wins, 2 losses really gives them a low seeding and makes life really tough for them. They are good enough to go on the road and win, but playing at the Stade Ernest Wallan is such a big benefit for them that they won't want to be on the road. I think, again, if I put my money on it, I would suggest Toulouse have enough quality to go and win against Saracens. But like you said, bringing back Owen Farrell, Maro Toji, and several other key players for that match, Saris aren't going to be an easy beat at home. So yeah, that's become all the more important for both sides, really.
So just to look at Pool 1, the Glasgow Warriors with 10 points. The next 4 teams have between 6 and 5, and the stunner was Claremont with 0 points after 2 matches. That is, look, Claremont has had a bad season in top 14 for Claremont, right? They're not even in the top 8 right now. They would be in the Challenge Cup if the season ended. Still, for them, they've been outscored by 58 points in this, right? It's that's stunning because Claremont is so consistent for them to just have no points after this. And then, so my question to you is Glasgow has the lead by 4 points in this pool because of that win. Who's winning Pool 1 now?
Yeah, Glasgow, I think. If Sale Sharks went down with a relatively young team and did what they did to Claremont, you can imagine what a fully locked and loaded Warriors team will go down there and do, and that feasibly, because they've got Saris at home from memory. I haven't got the fixtures in front of me, but I'm pretty sure they got Saracens at home in the final round, right? So if Saris beat Toulouse and they go into that and, they go into that final round game with just the one loss or whatever on that side of things, and they've obviously still got to play. They played Claremont in round 1, didn't they? So then they've got Glasgow. Did we say Glasgow's the final round? Glasgow's the final round.
Yeah,
right?
because Glasgow plays Claremont in France next in round 3, so that would
Right.
be Saracens.
But if there's ever been a banana peel game for the Warriors, that will be it, right? You're writing off a team that still has plenty of quality in Claremont. But yeah, I think the Warriors take Pool 1 now. It's very hard because, it's out of Toulouse's hands. No matter what Toulouse do, if Glasgow do the job and win both their final 2 matches, they're top of the table. So yeah, I would put all my chips into the Warriors' corner at this stage.
Yeah, I'm picking the Warriors to win this now, and I can't stress this enough. I'm not 100% sure Toulouse can go to Saracens and win because of the team that Saracens will play at home. That's going to be a phenomenal match. I will tell you right now, that's going to be our match of the week when we get there.
No doubt, Joe. No doubt. I'm looking forward to the article on that one coming out. Yeah,
Okay,
but yeah, what a fixture to blow up in the whole competition.
so Pool 1 is wild, but I'm going to tell you the most stunning thing after 2 rounds is how crazy Pool 2 is. Your boys are in there, the
Yeah.
Munster Rugby. Bath loses this week, right? That pool is completely wide open. I mean, just like we're gonna throw up the standings here on the screen. Uh, we'll get my guy Elliot that graphic. He can look at it, but it's like every team that pool has at least 5 points. Bath only has a 1 point lead. When we say anyone can win this pool, like literally anyone's gonna win this pool. It is crazy. Uh, is that's definitely kind of the story right now, right? I mean, pool 2 is anyone can win.
Yeah, yeah, it was. And I think when we touched on it, we weren't sure what the pool of death would be. Obviously, we looked at UVB and Northampton, but this one, there's so many teams that are so equal across the board that it's a really interesting matchup because Bath should take it. I mean, they are. I would say they're the best squad. Obviously, what they did to Munster in that opening 20 minutes was very impressive. But again, it was so impressive that it almost felt like an anomaly. It just felt so out of the ordinary. And then they go down and Toulon beat them pretty comfortably and take away that second bonus point, which could be very big when you look at where the standings are when all the groups are put together for those knockout rounds. I think the challenge for Bath is that Cast are also a very difficult team. They pretty much never lose at home, which we saw against Edinburgh, who beat Toulon the week before, So there is that side of things. I think when we came into this, my prediction was that Munster would win 3 and they would win in Toulon and lose in Bath. And I felt everybody would lose at least 1. And I think that's how it's going to play out. And Toulon have already had their loss, so would they have 2 losses would be big for them. But yeah, I think Bath are still the pool favourites in my mind, but Castor are a very difficult obstacle for them still to go. And as we've seen, Edinburgh can beat Toulon, so they could front up against Bath. You never know.
That Edinburgh match, I was like going through the motions on that. I was like really surprised at how because at halftime it's only a 5-0 game. Edinburgh was in it. And then they just got walloped in the second half. I mean, I think they lost that game 33-0. I was stunned. I even messaged, I was like, maybe Edinburgh has a chance to win the URC when they're only down 5 at halftime at a really tough place to play. And then they just got wiped out. That to me was one of the more surprising things that happened. I thought Edinburgh had a chance, and then just the whole script changed.
Yeah, it's a bizarre one with Edinburgh, and it's not the first time we've seen results like that from them. If you remember last season away to the Bulls, they were pretty comfortably ahead of the Bulls from memory. It was at a quarter final in the URC, and they somehow conspired to lose that one last season. So that there have been games like this with Edinburgh where you think, right, they're in the fight here. They have a really big chance of a big away win, and then they just don't quite get it done. And that's the difference between them and the Warriors, right? The Warriors have kind of proven it. They've won a URC title. They won a knockout game last year. They're building up. This is the hallmarks of teams that go on and win these sort of competitions. So I think Edinburgh are just a little bit further behind on their journey. And when you look at the quality across the board, Edinburgh's got some great players, but do they have a standout 10? Not necessarily. Whereas the Warriors have Adam Hastings, who personally I've always rated quite highly. So yeah, it's interesting for Edinburgh. I think if I was looking at it pretty ruthlessly, I think they're the ones staring, being the odd one out, maybe being that fifth team in the pool, fifth or sixth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I my pool pick, and then we'll move on. I think I think I'm going with Munster in that I picked Bath to win it, but I think Munster. I trust them the most not to lose at home. They've already played Bath away. I think they're going to lose at Toulon, but then I think that they'll end it with a win at home.
Yeah, so it'll be a really tight shootout then by the end of it, right? Because you're kind of looking at, yeah, it's going to be
When
tight. I mean, again, the last time Munster were down in Toulon, they did win, and I would argue that this team, in my mind, are slightly better than that team who went down there. You never know. I mean, Toulon looks so powerful. They really fronted up against Bath. So Yeah, I mean they're definitely favourites. I just have a gut feeling that Munster in France, there's always a reaction from Munster once a season. So
Well, I think it's really fun too because we've been in this situation. I think we were in this situation last year where we got to round four and most of the knockout stages in round 16 was settled, right?
mm,
I don't think that's going to happen this year. I think that last round of pool play, there are going to be some teams going for the bonus point
mm.
and trying to make that round of 16.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with you, Joe. I think it's great for the competition as a whole, because it adds that level of excitement going to round four because there needs to be that little bit of jeopardy. And I think when you look at those matches, like we said, when you have the Warriors and Saracens as that final game, that could be a pool decider in that match, like you're saying. And Munster are hosting Cast in the last round? They're hosting them at home, so it's going to be phenomenal. I can't wait for it. And then you've got in round three, we've got Northampton versus UBB, a replay of last year's final. So bring it on. I think the only teams that I feel confident are going to go undefeated are Leinster and the Stormers at the moment.
Good segue because now we'll touch on round three. You just mentioned Northampton UBB. That's obviously going to be a huge match. Um, I'm still picking Saracens to lose as our match of the week just because I think that Saracen. I just think that's a lot of stars, but obviously a rematch in the final is big. Here are two other matches that I'm looking forward to in round three. Maybe they aren't the star-studded match. I just think it's going to be really interesting these matches for what it could do for the competition. You can give me another match if you want on round three, but I'm excited about the Shark Week in round three. Sale Sharks, Hollywood Bet Sharks, because I think the loser I don't even know if the loser will make the Challenge Cup in this
Mm.
match. Um, it'll be interested to see what lineup the Hollywood Bet Sharks are because if they are serious about making the round of 16, they got to win this match. Um, and then, of course, I can't believe I'm saying this, but the the stunning through two matches is has not won and they've lost at home. And I'm going to tell you this: we've not seen a lot of wins in Welsh rugby the last few years, but I think the Scarlets having the chance to knock out one of the best French teams in club competition is exciting to me. I think Poe's going to absolutely bring it in Wales. Scarlet Poe in round three is another match I would like to watch. And then the last one is Harlequins and Stormers because the Harlequins looked so awesome
Yeah,
this past week. They played
yeah.
Leinster tough, and now the Stormers. Hopefully, they bring their team up there to London and Twickenham Stoop, and we'll see. But those are some matches I'm looking forward to in round three.
Joe, that final one, Sasha Feinberg Gomezulu against Marcus Smith. How fun is that head to head, right?
Oh,
Probably the two most exciting in terms of attacking tens in the world. Yeah, no, that's it's a jam packed round. And now that you say it, that match, that is the one that the Stormers could lose. That is the only one. I don't think they will, but that is the one. And the reason I don't think they will, their scrum. I mean, Sasha, we know, is just phenomenal. He's the best. He is the best 10 in the world at the moment. The only slight kink in his game is consistency from the kicking tee. But look, the guy's so skillful, he'll figure that out as we go. But the Stormers pack is where it's won and lost. Their scrum is just so dominant at the minute. On all of that, it's funny when we talk about the Welsh teams because again, going back before this podcast, just doing that research, it wasn't that long ago that the Scarlets were topping groups in this competition. It's a really sad drop. I mean, when you think back, they had Tyg Byrne as one of their players at that point. They were stacked. So yeah, it's a real shame. And you saw Jack Morgan and Dowie Lake have both signed for Gloucester from Ospreys. Is that the indicator that the Ospreys are going to be the team that are cut? And will we keep the Scarlets? You never know. There's a lot going on there, but I think for the Scarlets, it's really important to get a win. I think Poe are cooked in this one because they're doing so well in the top 14, and because things went so badly in the opening two rounds, I could just see them not taking their good teams anymore. I think they know that it's done because Bristol ripped them to shreds. Yes, yeah, that's the best Bristol performance I've seen for a long time.
it was disappointing because I thought Poe could win this competition entering it, just from how their season has played out. That's probably the biggest surprise for me through 2 rounds is just Poe sitting here with. I mean, I will check, but do they even have a point here? No, they got no
No, they didn't. They
points.
lost their didn't. They lost their bonus point at home to Northampton, and they obviously didn't get anything away to Bristol. So yeah, no, I really think they're out of it, Joe. Unfortunately, I mean, to be honest with you, they probably don't want to play in the Challenge Cup either. So for them, it's probably better to be last in the pool than it is to have to go through more
Well,
matches in the Challenge Cup.
how about this? The Scarlets could make round of 16 because
Mm,
like that last spot, that fourth spot in that pool. I mean, obviously the Saints and Bordeaux have 10 points, the Bears have 9, and
mm,
then Scarlets, Bulls, and Poe. They all have either 1 or no points. So it's like
yeah.
Scarlets could sneak in there, and they were definitely the team no one was picking,
Mm.
um, and they had some of the worst odds in here. So that's a big story.
Yeah, they've got plenty of quality. And funny enough, the Bulls, I know we briefly touched on, they're basically turning into the Sharks. I mean, they just keep signing superstars and
Whew.
getting worse. I don't know what is going on with them in Pretoria, but yeah, so that's been one of the more disappointing things through
Can,
the opening 2 rounds.
can we clip that out and put it on social media?
Yeah, I was going to say normally Bulls fans would probably come at me, but I think they probably agree at this stage. It's been, I saw a really funny meme of Jake White looking very smug with his glasses on. Going, I'm not the problem, guys. But and he could well end up in Durban, but JP Peterson did a really good job in his first game. So yeah, lots going on with those two teams.
All right. Speaking of that team, shifting gears a little bit, no Champions Cup for about a month. All right, we're a few weeks, but now we're back in domestic league. And Philip, it is derby season here at the URC and some French teams. Not derby season everywhere, but
Yeah.
definitely in the URC. They love their holiday rugby in that league. Which derby are you most excited about these next 2 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, for me as an Irish fan, it's got to be those Ireland games. I think Ulster have been on fire so far this season, and now they lost at Cardiff in a last kick. I mean, they threw the game away, and it was another one of those teams that probably could have picked a stronger side and done well to win that match. But them against Leinster is an interesting one. So now was it 2 seasons ago? So not last season, the season before, Ulster swept Leinster in the pool stages from in the regular season round in the URC from memory. So I feel pretty good about Ulster upsetting Leinster. That will be a really interesting matchup.
Is this the biggest Leinster Ulster match in a few years because of how well Ulster has played?
I think so. I think so, and also because of how poorly Leinster started their season. Leinster can't afford any more losses. I mean, it's really for them. I don't think they will. They seem to be clicking into gear now, but they can't afford if they drop points to Ulster here again. That pressure comes on. I mean, to even make the top 4 starts becoming a bit of a challenge.
Yeah. My other derby, you got to be right there with me because you grew up in Cape Town. You know how big of a match this is.
Mm.
And frankly, you just called them the new Sharks. So, all right. The North South Derby, Bulls Stormers. I'm excited to see. I think we're going to get the best of the best lineup wise in here. I'm excited to see Sasha. Like, here's what I want Sasha to do. You know how in the NFL, like Aaron Rodgers when he was with the Packers, the 2 games he wanted to win every year were against the Bears, and he talked smack against the Bears. Well, I would love for like Sasha just to that's the one match he's going to win every year is the rivalry match.
Yeah,
Establish it
yeah.
now.
I do love that we've been hearing more and more of the ref mics picking up the back and forth banter between the players. It's been really good recently. I'd love to hear Sasha chatting to Andre Pollard. That's going to be a hell of a showdown between those two. So, yeah, that match is huge. I've been so fortunate to go to a number of Stormers versus Bulls matches in my time back when they were in Super Rugby. And yeah, the Stormers love getting one over the Bulls, and the Bulls love getting one over the Stormers. I think on current form, cheapers the Stormers could put up a big score on the Bulls. So I'm hoping that's what happens as a pseudo Stormers fan, really.
So a lot of Christmas gifts for rugby fans because there's some awesome derbies. Obviously, the Welsh teams all play each other. We got we got the Scottish teams playing in matches. I mean, that's going to be awesome. And that is on Saturday, especially with Glasgow coming off a win versus Toulouse. They're welcome in Edinburgh. Um, very excited, but the world of rugby is giving gifts to rugby fans. Philip, we're gonna do this is gimmick corner on the podcast here. All right, the gimmick is your Christmas shopping for clubs. All right,
Ooh.
if you could gift one player or coach to one of the rugby clubs, what player or coach are you giving away, and what club? Does that make sense?
Well, my Munster needs some love here. Okay, so I'm going to start there, and I thought long and hard about this one. I would love to have Malcolm Marks come to Munster. It's been rumored before; it's never quite happened. He is, him and Dan Sheehan, Peyoto Mavaka, probably the three best hookers in the world. Unbelievable scrummager, would make a huge difference to Munster. So Malcolm Marks to Munster would be my big shopping list if I'm allowed an unlimited budget. That would be my dream. Sign him up, 3-year deal, beautiful.
Yeah, really going out on a limb there, giving the World Rugby Player of the Year to Munster. You put a
Yeah.
little bow on it.
Yeah. I'm just sick of our line out and scrum not working. So let's get the best scrummaging hooker and one of the best line out hookers in the world right in the middle of there.
More,
So yeah, no, that
more,
would be a good one.
more
How
on
about
Malcolm
you?
Marks coming up in a second.
Oh, there we go. There we go. And you notice I didn't even go for Anton Dupont or Sasha Feinberg Gomezulu because I love Craig Casey and Jack Crowley. So there we go.
Well, I thought about this, and so the gift I'm giving is I watched the Stormers play, and I love Sasha. I think he's awesome. But you're right, the kicking game leaves a lot to be desired. So I've picked the Stormers to win the Champions Cup. I think that they can win the URC. So my gift to them is I'm not picking the world's best kicker to put on there because Andre Pollard plays for the Bulls. I'm not doing that. I'm taking George Ford
Ooh.
of England and of the
Sail
Sail
Sharks, yeah.
Sharks. Sail Sharks. Yeah, I had to get my Sharks right. I'm taking George. I'm moving him down. He's got a coffee shop.
Lovely.
He can bring his coffee to South Africa. He can sell it there, and he can kick a bunch of big kicks for the Stormers. That's my pick.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So George at 10, Sasha 12, Damien Willems at 15. Look at that lineup. That is, yeah. I do love that. I do love that. It's
Yeah.
oh yeah, the Stormers are already very hard to see being beaten this season. So yeah, just add that little layer in.
See, I didn't do Thomas Romas. I didn't put him
Yeah,
in there. So we're
he would
keeping
have been good
Toulouse
there.
there because we need Toulouse to stay very villainous.
Yeah, true. I think I texted you, didn't I, when Toulouse were losing to Glasgow? It was like, classic Thomas Ramos kicking off straight away, throwing a tantrum. Yeah, there we go.
All right. So man, we just might hit our time here, Philip. All right.
Yeah.
Here we
Oh,
go.
sorry.
Japan Rugby League One is on flow.
It's back. It's
It's
so good to
here.
have it on Flow. I love it. Love it. We've got all the big leagues, ladies and gentlemen. We have it all. And you get to see all of these stars. Like you said, a bit of a segue. Malcolm Marks. Here we go. Straight back in, Joe.
What the last like three Rugby World Player of the Years are in this league.
Hmm.
Um, I will put a note on here. We've got every match of this league is streaming on Flow. Only two are going to be in English commentary. It is what it is. But what a
Expand
fun
your
rugby
horizons,
league!
fans.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, there we go. Learn a bit of Japanese. Why not?
save money. Don't buy the Rosetta Stone. Just watch Flow Rugby and learn Japanese. All
There
right,
we
there
go.
we go.
Perfect. Perfect. And it was. I did love our group chat was really kicking off on Slack about how cool the names were in the Japanese league and all the logos of the teams, how cool they were. It really is. It's just such a unique competition, and it's so interesting in the way it's played. It's a shorter season. The games are always so much fun to watch because they're so fast and attacking minded. You got some of the very best players in Springboks and All Blacks out that way. Richie Mo'unga's out there, Jesse Creel, of course, Malcolm Marks, Quacca Smith. There's just so much good players. Cheslin Colby, Peter Steph Toy. We can go on. So yeah, it's a nice little alternative if you're looking for some all-out rugby.
All right. Speaking of all out rugby, let's make some picks, Philip, and let's wrap this podcast up.
Here we
All
go,
right.
Joe.
Like we said, a lot of derbies this week. We're going to focus on this coming week. And just a little programming note. We gave you 2 podcasts last week. We're taking the Christmas break off next week. We won't be recording, but then we'll come back post Christmas and record. But here we go. Picks this week. We're going to start 3 matches on Friday. Gloucester was not playing well entering Champions Cup, but here they are, a chance to make it to the round of 16. They're playing the Leicester Tigers, who really pushed Leinster. They wound up losing that match, though. They're not going to make the round of 16, I think. But they're still in it in Prim Rugby. Leinster Tigers versus Gloucester Rugby. I'm taking Gloucester. How about you?
Yeah, I'm going to go
Gloucester or
with the
Gloucester?
Gloucester. Yeah, Gloucester. There we go. You're getting it, Joe. You're getting the names nailed down there. We're getting it. We're getting it. I'm going to go with the Tigers. Just based on what I saw against Munster, and the few players that could probably bring back into that lineup. Really physical. Gloucester are definitely getting better, and I mean that's what a signal of intent to sign. They are the 2 best Welsh players. Alongside obviously Louis Rees-Zammit, but they're both world class in Dowie Lake and Jack Morgan. So Gloucester are going to be a force for quite a few years to come. But right now, I think the Tigers take it.
Yeah. The Tigers definitely focus on Gallagher Prim. So, this is their match, and they're at home. That's obviously one of the legendary stadiums. So there's that. Okay, next match. Here we go. Irish Derby in Dublin. We talked about this game. Leinster, Ulster, Philip, who do you have?
Oh, I really want to say Ulster, but I think Leinster are just going to pip them physically. I think they're going to drag them into a fight they don't want to be in, and yeah, I'd love to see Ulster go down there because they're just playing such a great brand of rugby at the moment. Oh yeah, I'm going to go Leinster. I have to go Leinster, Joe. I'm sorry. Yep.
And you call yourself a
I
Munster
know.
fan.
I
I'm
know.
going with the boys from Belfast. I'm going with Ulster to win this match.
Love it, Joe. Love it. Making friends all over the place at the moment.
All right, here we go. Another match on Friday afternoon. We're going to Wales. Cardiff, who just beat Ulster, is playing the Scarlets.
Yeah.
Scarlets could make the round of 16. Who do you have?
Yeah, Cardiff. I'm very impressed with Cardiff at the moment this season. They're a coming force at the moment, which is great. And whatever way the realignment goes, I would imagine the WRU are going to focus and keep building Cardiff rugby up. Yeah, I think Cardiff. How about you?
Oh, we're going 3 for 3 on disagreements here because I'm going with the Scarlets coming off
Right.
some Champions Cup momentum. I've got them winning this derby.
Nice, Joe. There we go. Love it. Head to heads.
All right. Moving on to Saturday. Hey, here's an interesting one because both of these teams are having pretty good seasons, top 14. Both these teams have come up with some big wins. The Paris Derby, Stade Francois versus Racing 92.
Yeah.
Philip, who do you have in this one?
Yeah, both teams have started pretty well. Stad beat the Cheetahs this week, didn't they? I think Racing rested their players throughout the Challenge Cup opening 2 rounds, so I'm going to go Racing bringing back their first team. I think Racing get it done.
Okay. I can never remember if it's Stade Francois Racing 92. Is this the indoor stadium or is that Racing
Yeah, so
92 the indoor
Racing
stadium?
play at Racing play at La Défense, but they haven't played there that much because they've been renting it out
Okay.
for concerts and things like that. I think so. But yeah, it's such a cool stadium. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so this is going to be in the outdoors of Paris. Stade Francois all the way. They take down Racing 92.
Look at this, Joe. 4-on-4. Here we go.
All right. All right, here we go. 1872 Cup. Scotland. We love Scotland. They're probably still wondering where the Flow Rugby Club in Stirling is going to factor in this rivalry.
There
Uh,
we go.
that's a throwback to anybody that listened to our podcast last week. But here we go. Glasgow versus Edinburgh. I am going with Glasgow. There's no way I'm picking against them after last week. You
Yeah.
think there's going to be a hangover?
Oh, it's a tough one, Joe. And those derby matches are always a lot tighter than they ever should be on paper. This is the first one we're going to agree with. I'm going to go with you. Warriors take it over Edinburgh. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's going to be such a fun match. More on that match, particular on Flow Rugby, and they're going to play right next, right? They play back to back.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, it's home and away series normally. Yeah, over that Christmas period.
So, they've played this match before in Murrayfield, correct?
Yeah, they played it at Murrayfield, and they played it at a variety of stadiums over the years. Yeah.
Another Saturday match that I think is one of the best matches of the weekend. It was one of the matches I was considering for match of the week. I just really liked Leinster Ulster is my match of the week this week.
Mhm.
But Saracens Exeter, it was clear
That's a good game.
the Saracens did not bring their A team down to South Africa. I think it was because they had Exeter this week. Who's your pick here?
Is it being played in Exeter? Do you have it in front of you? I don't know.
Oh, it is in Saracens.
Oh, is that Sarries? Yeah, Exeter have been really good this season. I think Sarries at home. Sarries are really hard to beat at home. So if that was down at Sandy Park, I would have backed Exeter, but I think Sarries will take it at home.
I'm taking Exeter.
Here we go, Joe. We're back on the split. This is
We're
great. There
back
we
on
go.
it. We're back
That's it.
disagreeing. There we go.
There we go. Very good.
Staying in the Prem, staying in Saturday. Harlequins versus the Bristol Bears. This match
Oh.
looks completely different after this
Yeah.
past week of Champions Cup. What a match! No way is Harlequins losing at in Twickenham Stoop. I got Harlequins in this one.
Yeah, give me Quins at the Stoop too. That's going to be a cracker of a game. All out attack. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, especially that was one of the more stunning wins. Just the way the Harlequins
Yeah.
just jumped all over them this past week.
Yeah.
All right, going into France on Saturday, Lyon versus Toulouse. All right, normally I don't think we would have picked this match, but Toulouse isn't going to lose back-to-back matches. This is a road match for them, so this is not a gimme in the top 14.
Yeah. Yeah, not a gimme. And Lyon are another one of these French teams who rotated throughout the Challenge Cup. So, yeah, no, give me Toulouse. They can't lose back to back after what happened last week. If they do, there's going to be questions.
Great championship teams just don't lose a lot of back-to-back matches. I'm taking Toulouse.
There we go.
All right. This is bright and early Sunday morning on the East Coast. I think it's 12:30 Eastern Time a.m. We're going to Japan Rugby League One. The Blue Revs made the playoffs last year versus the defending champions, Brave Lupus.
Yeah, yeah.
Who do you got in this one?
Yeah, I'm going to go Brave Lupus in this. I think it'll be an interesting match because the Blue Revs are constantly getting better. But, I'm going to go Brave Lupus in this one.
Yeah, me too. I'm going with the champs.
There we go.
All right. Again, arguably one of the best matches of the week. Could have been match of the week. Definitely the best match, I think, in top 14. Sunday, Bordeaux versus Toulon. I'm taking the Champions Cup champions. I'm going with Bordeaux.
Yeah, me too. Oh, is it in Toulon or in Bordeaux?
Oh, it's in Bordeaux.
Oh, okay, yeah. Give me Bordeaux. If it was in Toulon, if it was in Toulon, I would go with Toulon. But yeah, Bordeaux, just because of the top 14 travel thing. Teams don't like winning on the road generally.
There we go. That's the podcast here. Philip, anything to add this week? And what should rugby fans do when they're watching these derby matches? What should they pop open a can of Guinness? Like what's your
Oh.
ideal derby watching environment?
Yeah, getting the Guinness involved is always good. Always a good can. I don't know about popping open a can though, Joe. You kind of want to get down to the pub for that one. You need to get that rolling. Yeah, it's just there's just so much variety this weekend to look out for. What I would do now, if you want to be really cool, if whatever league you follow, pick your team. Obviously, watch that game, but then just watch one from each of the other leagues. If that's what you're going to do, pile it out. Get a Japanese game, French top 14 game, Prem game, and URC game, and go from there. Or you could do what I do and just have one long screen with multiple matches on the go. So that would work quite well. Always Munster in the middle in a bit of a love heart shape for me. But yeah, everything else, there we go.
Oh yeah, definitely dual stream action. Yeah, might have to have a full English breakfast this week while I wake
Yeah.
up and watch rugby. It's going to be loaded. Very fun. All right, Philip, you and I are going to be seeing each other a lot in the next couple weeks, but for podcast purposes, so they don't say I didn't wish you a happy holidays, I'm telling you, happy holidays, Philip. Enjoy watching rugby this the next couple weeks.
Same to you, Joe. Happy holidays, and we've both got young sons, so I think there's gonna be a lot more on in your household because your son's a little bit older. But enjoy, my friend.
Look, he's a toddler. He's not quite all into Santa Claus, but here's the update I have. Here's the rugby update. So the last couple Christmases, my wife has gotten me rugby balls for Christmas that we're decorating, and my son has basically just co-opted them. He's taken them over. But my wife says we have to put them up because the first thing Teddy does every morning is he goes over to the basket, and my son is 2. He goes over and throws all the rugby balls out on the floor, and it's starting to like hit the walls now. So we've got Ireland, Australia, and Japan are our rugby balls right now. I think I'm getting more for this year, but we'll see. We'll see what Santa brings me.
Love it, Joe. Love it, love it. Yeah, mate. Have a great holiday, and yeah, can't wait to get back to the podcast.
All right. Thanks, Philip. Watch rugby this weekend, everyone.
Cheers, everyone.